This one is very long awaited for me. I have been trying to get this arranged for quite some time, so having it be put in order here and having the cooperation from the other bandmates to get the vocalist on, despite the language barriers, this one's it's a really good free-flowing conversation. I mean, I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody else that has the same, I don't know if you'd call it problem, but phenomena maybe of like that the language barrier is not much of an issue. We get to talk about plenty of certain topics, such as the concept behind the album, the concept behind the album art, and we delve into a little bit of the sticking to the themes here, what the band wants to emphasize as far as themes go with this, and there's quite a bit of pretty kind of like safe digression, such as beer, culture, and touring. So enjoy it. right, sweet. So, let me see where we can get started here. I'm pretty excited to have you on the interview here, as you guys are one of the only bands that I found naturally through the YouTube's algorithm, where it popped up under a cool picture. I liked the picture on the album art, and then I was reading the description and I saw that you guys are themed after Tolkien. So can you tell me a little bit about the Tolkien themes and the Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien?
Yeah, but it's absolutely not connected to the Tolkien. This album and generally Askeesi is connected to the ancient cult of the trees in Georgia, ancient legends about nature, but absolutely no connection with Tolkien and this topic.
Okay, that's a quick confusion we can clear up here then with that, and then it's also titled as One Man Band, so it's clearly not a one-man band. How many of you guys are there in the band?
It was one-man band. First of all, it is founded by Beka Gachava, Talmag, it's his name, and then he added me as a vocalist. As Rhiannon, it's my stage name, and the guys from our other project, it's called Deadsec. It's a new metal, groove metal project we have, so now it's a two-man band. Like I'm a vocalist, and she's the author of the concept and everything, the instruments, and absolutely everything. So now it's a two-man band, but it was one-man band for a long time.
Okay, so it's basically been started as a one-man band, and then it must have started as Tolkien themed then too. It must have started that way as well, because it's on the description for the YouTube channel. So,
yeah, many people think so, that it's connected to the Tolkien because some kind of topics are really similar, but it's not, because in Georgia we have some kind of legend, some kind of mythology, which is too similar maybe Tolkien topics, but it's not like that.
That's the good stuff there, is where I want to get into. So it must be interesting to have that in the culture where there's like elves and trolls and wizards. That must be what you mean then. It's like elves, specifically elves. The first thing that when you think of Tolkien that you think of is elves and hobbits. So this is in the mythology. Wow, that's really cool.
Yes, it's our ancient cults of bees, of nature, and so on. Yes, it's like that.
Yeah, I want the viewers to.
And it's very interesting. And even in Georgia, many people doesn't know about this legends. So we are here to spread these legends, these myths about our history and about our mythology and the memories.
Yeah, the atmospheric nature of this genre that you guys make really makes for some very good meditative stuff. Easy to be calm and peaceful when listening to, even with the highs and even with the extremes. I want to get into the music a little bit more. I'm going to keep trying to focus back on the music anytime we get off topic, but I do have a couple more notes here, questions queued up that I let the frontman know ahead of time what some of the questions were going to be. So, wondering who the album artist was, who did the album art. I just wasn't sure if it was like AI or if somebody did. If you guys know who the credits go to for the album art, because I want to make sure the credits go to that artist, and that it's so fitting to the theme, as the album is roots of a sacred tree, and so that's obviously the message being conveyed here is a lot of spirituality connected to nature, and that's huge on big interest of mine. That's why I clicked on your guys' stuff. I'm sure that's probably why a lot of people like your music. I personally, like I said, I found your artist naturally, not through a promotional channel. So it separates you guys more from everybody else that I found you guys organically. And so I'm wondering who did the album art? Who was the artist that did the album art?
Album art idea was this band's founder, Becca's idea it was. And he and our friend did everything together because he wanted something like to be some kind of mystical, spiritual, and very connected to the nature. And as you see, here is a man sitting right next to the tree, and he, I mean, Becca Talmud, is the definition of this man, and this man is like him, and maybe not only him, but human who is connected to the nature, and I think the album art is all about how we that we are still remind people that we are connected to the nature, we are part of nature, and we don't have, we won't have to lose this contact. I think that's why this man is right next to the tree, and this is the pure connection of the human and of the nature. And besides, this tree is old, which is one of the inspiration of our songs, and one of the songs is called like that, like it is dedicated to the oaks.
Yeah.
And
I can see that it's so it's a theme that's going on here that has specifically through black metal, but it's also for mostly there's some are more specific on it than others, and you guys are one of those that do that very strong nature-based themes. And so it seems like the character on the cover that's standing by the tree is an actual concept, or is he like a character in the story? It seems like you're telling a story through the songs. Because I listened to the album through a couple times, and I noticed that there's definitely so many highs, ups and downs. It takes you on this journey. It takes you on this trip in your imagination throughout these different songs. And like, it'd be nice to know. It'd be nice to know that. Is that a character in the story? Are you guys painting some kind of story, specific story with this album?
This album specific story, I think it's that no matter how we progress, no matter how people will develop ourselves and themselves, we want to lose the contact with nature. We always will be connected to the nature, and besides, we always wanted to spread our Georgian culture and our cult of the trees and this mythology to the world. So it was the main concept of this album. And of course, every musician, the inspiration is their personal emotions, but connected to the nature again.
Yeah, this is where I want to get into the recent music video release, that it has a lot of cool imagery of like the starry sky. There's the guy, he's like sitting there meditating at the end. That video is featured on this episode as well. And I know that the English pronunciation of the Georgian characters are on there, and it's Anadonia. So I could pronounce Anadonia. I'm pretty sure I could pronounce your name. I'm gonna try. Gvantsa No, I can't. I don't know. All right, let me try again. Gvantsa Giorgadze.
It's really, really hard. And even if you're talking about this album, in this album, there is a Georgian song too. It's called It's very hard to pronounce too. And besides, I wanted to say that we always wanted to have some songs in Georgian language. It sounds very differently from English, of course. And I think it's still black metal too much because it's some kind of harsh, aggressive. Not Georgians. We are not too much harsh and aggressive, but the language is really. And it's still black metal, I think, too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it only appeals to a certain crowd. There's lots of people that always are commenting on, I read the comments that it's always compliments, and there's very little critique. There's very little of discernment on, every once in a while I find somebody who says something about the guitars and they would prefer that the guitars sounded like this or the drums sounded like that, but in this genre there's so much of a landscape that you can go about thousands of different ways of describing the fans and the artists, let alone the music itself. So what I aim to do here is get on specifically the music itself. I want to make sure that it's clear that it's a nature-based theme that you guys are going for, and that it's specific to your geographic location. I just by chance came across a couple other things that are also specific to Georgia that I want to talk about. One of the things that I almost had some trouble with was the flag, and I didn't Google it. I was looking on Instagram or something, and I found that it was like white with like a red cross or like a red plus sign, and then a few days later I went back and I found another one that was different. So there seems to be like two different ones, but it must be between north and south. That must be what it is then. There must be two different Georgia flags from like North Georgia, South Georgia, or something like that. Can you help clear that up for me real quick? Because I don't know which. The one that I have has like a head of a lion on the front of it, I think. That one's queued up for the episode.
I like that you are interested in Georgian culture and in Georgia after this album, because one of our main goal is people like you who love metal, who love music, to know more about Georgia, more about its symbols and so on. Our country is European. What I want to say, it's to the border of Europe and Asia, but it's European with very big culture, but no one talks about it because it's very small country, and so we are trying to talk about our country with our music. I hope it will be interesting for listeners too.
Are they sort of fighting for a history? I mean, the history that you say resembles like elves and trolls and all that kind of stuff intrigues me. It intrigues a lot of people from the same heritage as me as well. But heritage in general is huge. I think there's if we can get into this, I'm gonna give it a shot. That the difference between culture in a political sense and then culture and heritage on like folk tales. So that's where I would like to focus more on anyway, but it's good to be aware of the political side as well as the folk tales side of things, but they are contrasted. They are two different separate things. But it sounds like that you're interested in getting more people aware of the sort of political side and, you know, which flag is which, because you guys have two different flags. That must be confirmed by now then, that you have two different flags with...
Flags?
Yeah, flags.
Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had different flags. You mean Georgian flag, yes?
Yeah.
National flag. Yeah, we had, it was after Soviet Union, it was the first and absolutely different flag. It was maybe more depressed and depressing flag. And then we changed it with the cross flag. It's more like, I think, more like full of hope and more, how to say, colored and more beautiful, I think.
Well, it has that noble quality to it. It has like a noble...
Yeah, because we wanted to absolutely lose the contact with Soviet Union, maybe with this new flag.
Yeah, it has that. It has the lion's head, I think. That's the one I'm thinking. It's like a lion with a crown on its head or something. It's valiant and noble. It's like I have to figure out. You have to send me a picture of which one is your specific flag, because the
flag.
Yeah, because the one I have.
Yeah,
on the
our flag is one with 5 crosses. The white flag with 5 red crosses. It looks like England flag so much. Some people even can't recognize that it's English, England or Georgia.
Or
but
Norway. It's similar to Norway too, like the white and red, and then the cross.
Yeah, like Norway too. Yeah.
So then that would be like a lot of black metal people want to go make black metal there, because Norway's history of black metal, you know. Like that
okay, no problem. You're here.
Yeah.
To come to the Norway, Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it's our music and the Georgian metal stage is absolutely different than Norway's, because there is a main difference between the topics. Norwegian black metal is still very big, of course, and that's absolutely incredible. But they are more like some kind of stuff about their culture, of course, and some kind of occultism and like that. In Georgia, the black metal stage is more like about some Georgian history, like us, Askeesi, some kind of history, mythology, and we have absolutely incredible DSDM band, Psychonaut 4, and we have a little black metal band, but the main topics are really different than Norwegian black metal. Honestly, I am not a fan of Norwegian black metal. I'd better Finnish. It's more the music is more mine than Norwegian, but of course I respect Norwegian black metal too.
There must be a time where you're just in the mood for the Norwegian side of the genre, and then you go in and Google a playlist, or Spotify a playlist, or some Pandora playlist of that. There must be a time where you're feeling more inspired to do that. But real quick, I want to jump into influences. So this is a great time to talk about musical influences on
influences of Askeesi, maybe, of course, even though I said that it's absolutely not connected to Tolkien, but summoning was one of the, I think, more musically than by topics. Of course, it is atmospheric black metal and some kind of influence of Drud, Ukrainian black metal band, one of our favorites, and some Ukrainian black metal bands too. The founder of this band loves them too much, Severot, and so on. I think that's all.
So it sounds like you...
Not very much, but we wanted more like our Georgian black metal to be created. I know if we did it or not. That's why we used the Georgian instrument uniri in our music. As you listen, we have some Georgian instruments, so I think it's more like Georgian.
Oh, okay, that would be you mentioned a few countries, and so I'm not sure if you're aware of like the South American side of the genre. Have you heard of any of the Argentinian bands? I think there's a discernible difference between country for sure. I mean, like it just comes out a certain way. It just sounds a specific way from each country to country. So
yeah,
your favorite is your homeland would definitely be your favorite. It sounds like. And is there? I don't know. I usually come up with a lot of questions on the fly. So it would be like this, with the local scene, is there like a really strong communication and community going on with the live shows and, supporting each other and all that kind of stuff? And in the local scene, as with here in America, we have sort of the same thing, it's just like each individual has their own individual experience, but we have communities here. We have like pockets of communities, and then in my city we have like communities of people, and it's
yeah, you said America, and I forgot that one of our main influence was the American band Nine. Because we are almost always sleeping. Me and Becca Savumag, the founder of this band, we are married, and we almost all night are sleeping with the music of Nan, this American band. So one of the main influence was that band too. Now I remember.
Wow, that's cool. I haven't heard Night. Night?
Nine.
Nine, N-I-N-E.
N-O-N-E.
Oh, none. Oh.
None. Yeah.
That sounds cool. I'll check that out.
Absolutely incredible, atmospheric, depressive black metal. For me, that is absolutely maybe the first one for me. Yeah.
We can see it growing here a lot with a lot of different people coming out with stuff. Can you see the scene growing? Can you see the black metal scene growing pretty? How do you see it growing in your homeland, in your hometown? And do you travel to see people?
It's some kind of difficult thing because in Georgia there is we are only 3 million. And it's not a big stage, of course, but here we have, as I said, a big band. It's Psychonaut 4 from DSBM. And here are many good bands too. I like them too much. But the community is very small. And we don't have a label culture. We don't have even community culture. Not well. So now it's everything new in this country. We are only one atmospheric black metal band in Georgia, the only one now. But we had some black metal bands, very good black metal bands. They don't exist. Some of them exist, but not. They are not very active. I hope we will have a progress. I think we are trying. And Psychonauts 4 did a lot of job for this. Because of this band, many people, many metalheads know Georgia after that music, I think.
It must be two things real quick. I want to talk about the label Zero Dimensional. They're from Japan. It seems like you guys are distributed through Zero Dimensional from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's who I'm thinking of. Zero Dimensional, the Japan label. So I don't know. When I saw that, I thought the same thing as what you're saying. Is that basically, finding something more fitting is fine. Even though Japan has a booming black metal scene, they're known for having very reputable black metal. But it just seems like sort of maybe you'd be better fit somewhere else. So it seems like you might be scouting and looking for something better. But I'm just wondering how they are. Like, are they still decent, despite how it looks? I mean, are they still pretty good with communicating and all that stuff?
This label, Zero Dimensional Records, as you said, it's a really good label, but Japanese, that's why maybe, some kind of problems we have, because even the owner of this label said that many countries are not interested in the bands because of Japan. I don't know why, but it's okay. This is a very good label. We have a very good relationship with its owner. They helped us too much. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we will change or not. We will see it in the future. We hope.
Yeah, it's like the sort of overshadowing from, I'm sure you know Trivax, right, from Iran? Because you guys are neighbor countries to Iran and the Middle East. Are you aware of Trivax? You know Cheyenne and Trivax? Iblis manifestations?
You mean our neighbor countries?
He's from Iran, but he lives in the UK. And he's a podcaster, frontman for the band Trivax. They're kind of a bigger black metal. They're like a large-scale black metal outfit. I'm just wondering if you heard of them, because you have the same taste as me. I like the underground stuff way more than any of the mainstream stuff. And this guy is more mainstream, so you might not know him.
Yeah.
Ironically, like.
Yes.
So, in closing, I got one final question. I'm just start wrapping up here. With the other thing that I found on the country's like beer. You guys have a specific beer called Aluda, and I was wondering if you like beer.
Which beer? Please repeat.
Aluda. It's like supposedly a wine flavored beer or IPA. It's a pale ale. It's a pale ale. Aluda. Aluda. Aluda.
Aluda is a Georgian name. It's commonly in the mountains. Yes. So we have very good beer in mountains. The real beer in mountains. The real Georgian beer. We have it. But we have another very cool beverages too. It's called Jaja. It's very strong. It's very tasty. Jaja. Yeah, it's really hard to pronounce. Yeah.
What is that one?
Yeah, Jaja is like if we can make some similarities. Jaja is like some kind of death metal. Yeah, when you drink it, you are like maybe you will be like a frontman of Cannibal Corpse or like that. Yeah.
Get really rowdy and stuff. I swear that is what happens sometimes. It's just the magical spirits in the alcohol that make you inspired to communicate in this way, you know. It's the world-renowned beer or not beer, beverage of this genre, you know. I mean, I don't know what I'd do without it. I love beer. So you said Jaja is different than. I'm just interested in the different kinds, because Aluda is, I guess, a pale ale. It sounds like Jaja would be something I'd have to look into too. I mean, getting these, we have liquor stores out here that have imports, and they'll import the stuff. Like, you can ask them for a specific kind of beer, and they'll ship it in, and they'll have it mailed in from imported. So I'll have to look for that one, because that sounds really good.
Yeah, and besides, as Georgia is the homeland of the wine, we have different kinds of wines, so very tasty. And you can come to Georgia and taste everything, because the Georgian kitchen and Georgian beverages are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the wine flavored beer is what I was thinking Aluda was. It was like a combo of beer and wine, because it says it's like a bitter palate. It has a bitter flavor palate, and it, you know, it's coming from like wine and grapes and like vines and stuff. That's always really good. So it's, yeah, I mean, there's some of those similar out here. There's so many craft breweries. I don't know if you guys tried those, but I would prefer any of those, you know, traditional styles from that you're mentioning, and the ones that I found, over any craft beer. Even though craft beer out here is huge culture, it's really good, and there's lots of different kinds of styles. But do you have a favorite beer that you like the most, or that you're drinking right now? Or
I'm not a very beer person. I'm more like vodka person. Yeah.
Just more.
I better more stronger versions of this.
Oh, like liquid. Yeah. Like, okay. Whiskey, vodka, all that stuff.
Yeah. I love it. I love whiskey.
Whiskey's the best for fighting. Vodka's the best for like staying warm. Tequila.
And do a crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's like.
It's very cool if you want to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's always like a different story behind each one. It's like, you know.
Yeah, you know, even though we are playing metal and many people think that if you are a metalhead or metal musician, you are an alcoholic or some kind of like that. In my band, the guys don't like drinking so much, but I do. I love it.
Wait, I didn't get that.
They are some kind of straight-edged people. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're...
They don't smoke, they don't drink, and like that.
Yeah, I mean, when there's a... That's what's called like a cliche or like a stigma, where people will say that just because we like metal, that we like to drink, or that we're alcoholics. And it's like, it just goes with the territory. It just comes with the territory. But, I mean, it can be a problem. It can be a serious problem if it is a problem, you know, if there are people that have alcoholisms. You know, alcoholism's very real, but I'm fortunate to be outside of that. It sounds like you are also, and that's such a relief, you know. Just it's if I need something to be thankful for, I just remember that I can drink alcohol. Or but the smoking, It's hardly likely that the smoking of weed is legal there, but I would like to know about that because that's huge over here too. I like smoking some weed from time to time, but it's legal here. We can go to a store and buy weed. Do you guys have legal weed out there? Or?
Yeah, smoking weed is legal in our country, but I'm not a fan. I better alcohol, but not very much. I think that a healthy lifestyle is really better, even and more if you are a metal vocalist. I don't like when people are smoking and drinking and losing their voice too much. Yeah. I'm more career oriented, and it's cliche, as you said. Yeah.
And there is, well, not just that, but there is a lot of really good quality that comes and shines through all that. You know, the partying is like a whole aspect of it that's so pretty much necessary. It's pretty much part of it. I mean, times might be changing and all that. I can see that times are changing, and the kids growing up nowadays are actually really lame. They're living very sheltered lives, unfortunately, but partying is still part of the culture, and breaking through that wall is still just as valuable of a success story as it always has been. So it sounds like you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And that's good. I want to be clear too, because I'm still slightly confused on one more thing. You are the vocalist, right? Those are your vocals on the album. Wow, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. It really does.
Thank you. In the last album, I'm the vocalist. In the previous albums, Talmag itself recorded vocals, but then he asked me to do vocals for Askeesi because he wanted more aggressive, more harsh sound, that's why I'm here. As I'm a vocalist of new metal, group metal band too. Doing some aggressive vocals, it's really easy for me.
It's easy for you.
And thank you so much.
It's easy for you, you say?
Yeah, it's really easy. I express myself in an aggressive way, very too much. It's me. Yeah, I'm an aggressive person in life too, and I love it.
That's a relief. That's such a relief, you know. I mean, having all all the seriousness that surrounds us and what we do in the genre, it's a relief to have, like, you know, and everybody that I interview on here is always like pleased to be on for the most part, and you know, I've gotten at least one laugh out of each person on here, so that's good. You know, laughing is important. You know, and that's another thing. It's another cliche. You'd think that we were all just dreary and draggy people that like don't have any sense of humor, and then it's not true. Like we have to have a sense of humor to keep going. But for the final question, before I ask if there's anything you want to add, is there any of your sort of extracurricular activities or hobbies that help keep you balanced, you know, or anything that, you know, sort of mental health, regular health? I know taking care of throat health is important, but hobbies and extracurricular stuff. You mentioned that you're also a journalist, so that was a big surprise. I was like, whoa, cool, awesome. Tell me a little bit about your hobbies, extracurricular, and your journalism job.
I'm a sports journalist, and I love sports, of course. I love what I'm doing, and not like music, but I love it. Watching sports, of course, as it's my job and it's my hobby too, and cinematography is my passion, is my hobby, and everything. I love cinema too much. Maybe more art house cinema, more old movies, and that's my big passion.
Movies, old movies?
Maybe more old-time movies, more European cinema, more.
That's awesome. That's literally a whole. I love those too. Yeah. Those are like a whole. It's like a whole package, a whole new domain. You know, where the mind reacts so much different to the old stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they don't need to try it. They didn't try as hard back then. It was more work to make the old movies, but they didn't try as hard to like get you into the storyline. Which one's your favorite?
When I'm watching the movies, it helps me being delusional, but in a good way. Yeah. Sometimes people we need to daydream and have being delusional, and these movies really help me because these art house movies are real masterpieces.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to keep up with the last question here. Sorry, refreshing because we're just wrapping up. So I guess that's all I have. But if there's something else that pops up, usually it always pops up right when I'm trying to wrap up. So let me see.
Yeah, it's okay. I know how to be a journalist. It's some kind of hard thing.
It's like teetering. It's like teetering, and catching up with something. You know, staying at pace, staying eye to eye level. I guess one question that I want to try to make sure that I get out is the breaking through the cliches with the community, making sure that how do you handle if the community treats you differently because of the screaming and the shows and the makeup and all of that stuff.
How I handle human relationship with the community, with the crew.
Yeah, I mean, just being involved in the community as much as you'd like. Like, I'm sure that there's, especially being nature-based, there's probably like some non-profits you'd like to get into, and do you have any barriers? Do you ever run into any barriers with that? Not being involved in the community as much as you'd like.
In Georgia, it's so as I said, it's a very small community. We are all almost everyone friends in metal community, so we have very close relationship with our listeners. But in real life, I'm not too much metalhead. Of course, I'm listening to metal, but I don't look like a metalhead or metal musician at all. And maybe our listeners look like more metal musicians than me. I have really good relationship with them. They appreciate what we are doing, and they have a beautiful and very so incredible energy towards that, and I love them. And even during the tour, we've been in different countries, and the crowd was excellent in every country. So, but one main thing that's what I'm doing from the stage, I always give them my whole energy, my whole aggression, my whole passion, and they always see and they always get it. The exact way I give them. So I like it, really. I love when I have a close relationship and the close touch with the crowd, and they get it in a good way.
Yeah, these things. So this network.
Sometimes, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna eat these people from the stage, I'm out like that. Yeah.
That's what I see in the logo, or not the logo, the profile pic, on the profile picture.
Yeah.
And then the Facebook or Instagram story that I saw of you guys doing live shows, it looks very ceremonial, and that seems to be the standard nowadays for this genre as well, as all of these bands that have really stepped the whole game up and made it into something so huge that I can see that you guys are fitting in line with that. And so that's where I'll sort of slowly walk away from the sort of specific and personal answers, because it's, the nature-based contrasts the extremes of the music, and the network that we have, and how we are typically the more caring than most, as we've been hurt and damaged, so we know how to treat other people that are hurt and damaged, and that these things contrast itself. So in that way, we're in this genre very fortunate for that, for sure. But these bands like Behemoth and Batushka, which is now Patriarch, did you see the switch between Patriarch from Batushka and their new album and stuff like that? Because it's otherworldly. What did you think of any of these new guys? The new Cradle of Filth. Do you like Cradle of Filth? They have a new single out. I don't know if you've heard them.
I'm one of the things what I like in people is loyalty. So I want to listen the Patriarch album because I'm loyal to Batushka. And maybe I'm very stubborn, but I don't want to listen to this album because I'm fan of Real, the first Batushka, and that's why.
Oh, okay. So it's sort of like...
Yeah.
It's like the time...
Yeah, because I don't like cheaters, I don't like liars, and like that, I'm loyal.
Right.
And stubborn. It's fuck.
It's like the timing when you get around to it, it'll be a special event. I know that for sure. That's how it was for, because Cradle of Filth is my favorite, and they still have not come out with anything after Existence is Futile. But when that album came out, I was like doing the same thing as you're doing. It sounds like with Batushka, which is now Patriarch. And that's the whole thing, like that switch between them and them, and then the problems with Behemoth going through stuff. It's just like, man, that sucks. Like this.
Yeah.
They're the most easily offended country. And
Batushka played in our country in October, but we were on tour, so we could not see them, but I hope we will see somewhere.
So, what is it?
Batushka played in our country in October, but we've been on tour. We could not see them, but I hope we will listen to them somewhere.
Or even,
maybe in Georgia, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Heck,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean real Batushka.
Hell yeah. Yep. Do you guys tour with, or I mean, do you guys tour in Japan, or is it, how was the tour like?
Tour was in Europe, in European countries, Western Europe more, and it was beautiful memories, and beautiful. It was absolutely the tour which I already missed, and I hope we will return to this country.
Awesome. So that's
it.
That's awesome. So future tour dates, future album. You guys have another album in the works?
Excuse me?
You have another album coming up? Are you guys working
A
on
new album, yes. We are now working on other projects. We have, as I said, new metal project, Deadsec. We are working on this album, and after this album, we will start working on Askeesi. But the founder of Askeesi is now working as a third project, which is more medieval black metal, and it will be a one-man band.
So that's like a touring with them, supporting each other on tour, or working on each other in the album?
Yeah.
Working with each other on the album. That sounds awesome. Yeah, so it'd be like a collaboration kind of thing. That sounds really good. So that'd be the last thing is future tour dates where we could come see you live coming up next year.
The next year, maybe we will record the album of Deadsec, and then we will start recording album of Askeesi, and then we will go to tour again. I hope once in America.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, that'd be cool. So this is actually Deadsec is actually the main project. This is kind of like a side project then compared to Deadsec. It sounds like Deadsec is the main one. But I found
it was our first project. It's like a first seed in the family. Yeah, it's new metal, group metal, hardcore, some kind.
Ooh, yeah, that's a cool spiciness to add in there. It's so hard to fit it in within there, but I super want to thank you so fucking much for spending this time with me, making the time to hang out and chat with me, and hopefully...
Thank you too for your interest, and sorry for my English, but it's okay, I think, but thank you for your interest and for contacting us as well.
Yeah, hopefully I can get the rest of the guys on the band next time too, but it sounds like they might have even worse English. This was a little difficult. I had some difficulties with the English, with the language barrier, but it's like I was saying in the text message, like we have language barriers. I'm in a city with the most varieties of cultures in probably the whole country, and there's language barriers left and right, all over the place, lots of people. I approached a guy to tell him about my new album recently, and he didn't speak any English, just Espanol, and there's lots of language barriers, but it's no match for the metal. So what I don't like catchphrases, but I have to say my catchphrase. Let it roar is where I'll close off on. So let it roar. You are awesome, Gvantsa. Thank you so much again, and make sure.
Thank you so much.
Just
and keep it metal.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. All right. The message. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. What a delightful person, and just seeing that the smiles and the comfortability and having the conversation, the interesting, diverse topics ranging between from beer to talking about the connection of the land and the music and the themes behind the music. It was good to clear up that confusion between this being what I thought was Tolkien based, and then finding out that it's not, and then clearing up that it's not a one-man band, but that it did in fact actually start as a one-man band, and has now become with a few members in there, and then speaking on the musical influences helped me understand too that, while you're touring, people want to go see the bands that they like, and you can't go see the bands that you like when you're touring, as they just did a pretty extensive tour last year. So that was a really great conversation with the vocalist for this band, as well as the other project with that Instagram available for that in the show notes. Make sure that you go and check out this band and check out their latest music video as it has been premiered at the beginning of this episode. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, support the channel and let it roar.